Hey, good morning or good afternoon or good evening if you're watching on replay. I'm Leesa with Leesa Boone Designs, and today on Creative Expressions, I'm going to be painting a few home decor items. So I'm streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and also on TikTok. So welcome. I haven't done a live on TikTok in a while. So I am a DIY paint retailer in Madisonville, Kentucky, Western Kentucky, about 2 hours from Nashville. And let me just make sure I can see the comments here. And of course the phone's gonna ring. So let me know if you have any questions. Let me know all of the things. Just join me to chat with me. We're going to, let me go ahead and get on. For some reason today, it would not let me, hello, welcome. For some reason, it would not let me stream directly to my Facebook page. So I'm going to go on the DIY paint page where I'm streaming as in addition to my YouTube. So if you're new to me, I am, like I said, a DIY paint retailer. And welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm gonna be painting, showing you some different ways that you can upcycle some home decor. And I started some of it last week. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna continue with it, and I've got a few more things that I'm gonna be showing you. I'm just going to copy this link and just share this on my Leesa Boone Designs really quick. So if you're not following me on my other social media platforms, I would love to see you on there. Obviously I'm on TikTok, I am on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube. I do a lot of tutorials showing how to upcycle furniture, home decor, all kinds of things. So today I've got a whole bunch of frames. We're gonna jazz them up and we're gonna put some stuff in there. I've got some transfers for plates that we're going to upcycle. I have a shelf that I started last week. I'm gonna add another coat of paint and distress it back. So that'll be a lot of fun. And so if you have any questions, just ask away. I would love to talk with you, chat with you. And I'm going to show you how to apply some IOD transfers here in a second. So let me just get me going here on YouTube, on Facebook. I'm not sure what the issue was. So I just got my laptop up and got it going. I will check. All right, I will check all of the questions later. So hello, so I have some of these charger plates. I have a set of 4, and hi Stephanie. And so I painted this with a custom color last week. I actually combined prairie gray with a little bit of white, and just to dull it down a little bit, tone it down just a little bit. And so what we're gonna do now is we're going to go ahead and seal this so that we can apply a transfer. So I'm also an Iron Orchid Design stockist, and this is not one of my favorite transfers. So I love the flowers, I love the design elements. The transfer comes like this. It's called the Botanist. And it's really pretty. It's actually really pretty. I just don't care for how it's laid out. What's great about the transfers is that you can cut them. You have a bunch of frames that you need to redo. Oh, well, do them with me. We're gonna do some right now, and I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna cut these apart and I'm gonna put these on the plates. So I think that'll be a really pretty way. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna seal these first. So I'm gonna angle this down just a little bit. And hopefully I don't knock myself down too much. All right, so I've got some watercolor paper. So we're gonna be doing some really cool things if I can get this. So I wanna go ahead and seal this first. If we can get all of this done. I'm going to spread these out. See, I've got pieces of transfers on different frames, all laid out here. We're gonna create some really cool backgrounds. It's gonna be a little bit multimedia, mixed media esque. So whenever I use transfers, and I'm working on this quickly, I like to use DIY Paint's Liquid Patina. It's a decoupage medium. It is an image transfer You can seal it, but you only want to seal things. You don't want to seal furniture with this, okay? So I'm going to, all of my brushes are damp except for this one. I like to dampen my brush even with the top coats, especially with the top coats, because it helps to let it go all the way and just give you a nice smooth. So with DIY paint, it's a clay-based chalk style paint, and it is how I paint all of my furniture. So I have a lot of reels showing all the things that I do. I hope that you will follow my pages so that you can stay connected with me, join my mail list on my website, Leesa Boone Designs. I'm trying to increase that. My husband and I also have a podcast that we do every week, which is a lot of fun. So there's all kinds of things that you can find out more information about us and what we do, and be inspired as well. So I would love to have you do that. L&J Goods cut that one out. Oh, she did? Lynn is awesome. Lynn is awesome. I got to meet Lynn from L&J Goods in October at in person in Carmen's when I went to Colorado. That was a lot of fun. There's a lot of great DIY paint retailers and Iron Orchid Design stockists. So pick one that is close to you. If you don't have one, I would love to be your retailer and stockist for all the things. I sell different products, decoupage papers, all kinds of good things. As a matter of fact, I have some exciting news. I have someone I'm going to be meeting. I'm not going to tell you who yet, but I'm excited. They're coming here to meet me, and that's really exciting that someone would come all this way. I usually am the one. Whenever I travel, I look up, well, who's a stockist here? Who's a retailer? And I'll go to their store and I'll try to arrange to meet them, because it's so important to support women businesses, small businesses. And so I like to shop in their stores, look at their stuff, or if they're in a booth, you know, I'll go there and I'll go in the booth and shop in their booth or at their location. I just think it's important. There's so many small businesses that are closing down. And I had a lady come in this week, and she was like, I hate it when small businesses close down. And there was the first time that she'd come here into the store, and I'm thinking, well, you know, that's part of it. Like, you have to shop small, you have to shop local and support the businesses so that they don't close down. So that whenever people do shop and support me, I am totally grateful. Wow, what a great meetup. Yeah, it was a great meetup. I met a lot of people when I went to Colorado. I mean, I got to meet Royce from Royce Cycle Treasures. She is, I'm a retailer for her, and so I've talked with her, but it was nice to meet her in person. I met a lot of people. All right, so I've got some watercolor paper, and I've got this scratch paper here. I have a whole bunch of little transfers. What I want to do, let me show you this first. This is probably kind of extra for some people, but the design trend for 2024 is peach fuzz, and HGTV made a paint color, wall color for Sherwin-Williams that is pretty much this color. And I walked through Target and I saw this color everywhere. I did a reel and I showed that. So I custom made that paint color, and see, the tones are in here too. So I didn't want to match it up, but I'm gonna put it in this frame. So we're gonna be creating some different backgrounds, and I want to use watercolor paper and kind of use a watercolor technique. I could have used actual watercolor, but see, this is just a piece of transfer that I'm gonna use on that one. I have this other frame and this other transfer, which has those orangey tones in it as well. I'm gonna keep this one kind of neutral. So I have a whole bunch of different ones. If we get time, I'm gonna show you. I started working on this. This was a crusty, it was really crusty old picture. And I custom made the color for the chargers, and I had some left over. I hate wasting paint. So I didn't paint this part. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it yet, but I went ahead and I hit it with this. And then this was a metal box, and I made a color. When it was wet, it literally looked like milk chocolate, like a Hershey's milk chocolate. I was like drooling. I was like, I want a Hershey bar. But let me see if I can get this to open. This one gives me a little bit of, see, it's a metal box. I've got the 2 keys. I'm gonna jazz it up, make it really pretty, and it'll be for sale. So I've got to finish painting that one, and I think I'm gonna embellish it with some transfers. I've done that before. So I have a whole bunch of different projects going on, and that's kind of how I like to work, just so I can get things done. So this transfer is a little bit larger than, see, this is the frame, than this one. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, oh, this was like, I was playing with the, I forgot about this. This is the Painterly paints, and I was painting and showing how you can blend and how you can create different colors. That's funny. I didn't realize that was there. So what I'm going to do is I'm waiting for this to dry so that we can apply the transfers, because you have to have that dried. And I'm looking for, I thought I had my, okay. I can't find my cutter. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this paper to this size. And I'm gonna create a couple of different backgrounds. And so I'm actually just gonna use this glass. So I'm just going to, I love tearing paper. Actually today, speaking of tearing paper, today, in our private group, because we have a private ATC group, and I'm gonna put that there. What other size do I need? And this is gonna be so much fun, because I'm gonna do the whole side. We're going live in our private group today. Sorry about that. And we are going to be unboxing our ATC group. So, our ATC mystery box, which is so much fun. I think, is today the 20th? Because today's the last day. If today's the 20th, where it's open. So if you wanted to join us, you could join us. Or just get on the wait list. Let me see, is that going to fit? I need to make this a little bit smaller. Actually, let me do it this way. All right, so it's just a little bit. I don't know if that will do it or not. Let's see. I think it's so much fun to create really fun backgrounds, and it made me think of the ATC, because I like to do that with the ATCs as well. So DIY paint, comes in a sample jar, which is 8 ounces, a pint, which is 16 ounces, and then a quart, which is 32 ounces. And you can water this down 10:1, create watercolor, which is what we're going to do today. Or you can paint it, let it get chunky, create some really cool texture. It's so much fun. So for this, I think I want to use this color called Apothecary. We probably will use a couple of different colors. Uh-oh, somebody on TikTok is trying to get live with me. I don't know who that was. I think it was like a spam or something. All right, so I have a whole bunch of watercolor colors here. Brushes. So I'm gonna go ahead and wet it. I probably should have. I'm gonna just put this over here. Just a little drop. Because again, you can water it down 10:1. And so that's what we're gonna do. My neighbor sells jewelry, candy on live, and I'm gonna be decorating some of the boxes with molds, paint, decoupage, and lace. Oh, I wanna see that, Stephanie. Hi, Diana. They're gonna be keepsake boxes. Oh my goodness, that's so much fun. All right, so That is a lot of fun. I love using molds. I love using the Iron Orchid Design clay. Do you see that? Just spray and see this, the pigment is still, you can still see the pigment. And, okay, let me show you this. I was using this. Okay, wait, I've got to show this to you guys. I've got to show this to you. I had a major faux pas. The first time ever. And I meant to do a reel about it and I forgot. But do you see this? This is an Iron Orchid Design transfer. It is actually part of a set, and you can use them individually, or you can use them, you know, to make a whole scene. Like here's a, you know, an example of furniture that's, you know, the middle ones is just a sign. So I took one of these. I took, where is it? This one, okay? So I took this one and I applied it. Now remember I said you have to make sure when you apply your transfer that your paint's been sealed and it's wet and it's dried. Well, it was sitting there for 2 days and I came in and I was like, okay, let me go ahead and apply my transfer because I was doing a live sale and I wanted to include this in my live sale. I've never had a transfer mess up on me. It messed up. It wouldn't apply and it wouldn't stick. And I think I did a good job fixing it. I literally repainted the plans and added some highlights and lowlights and painted it using my paints. So I'm gonna show you now. I have that paint sitting there. Let me know what you think. I even added some paint to the bird to add more dimension. So this paint is sitting here. It's been sitting here for a week, less than a week. I'm hitting it, it's dried. I'm hitting it right now with water and it's going to reactivate the paint so that I can actually utilize it. So I also have a tray here that if I wanted, I have 2 trays of the colors that I created, okay? Same thing. I can wet this and reactivate that paint if I want to get some browns in there. And then this is that color, that terracotta color that I made. Same thing. Now do you see, wait, let me show you. Do you see that chunky? It dried because there was a big chunk right there and it's dried, started cracking. Now watch. Okay, you don't have to put that much water. I was just trying to show you. Let me grab one of these. I probably need a little bit more water. It's really hot in here. Do you see that? I was able to get it on you. I want to add some splatters on some of these, so I think this would be really good. I need more water is what I need. All right, let me see if I can get this filled up. So here's the thing, DIY paint, it is a natural paint. There's nothing in it. There's no latex, there's no sealer, there's no plastic, there's no toxins at all. It's 0 VOC, it's totally clean. You can finger paint, it will not hurt you, it will not hurt your allergies. You know, if you have a hard time with smells, there's no smell. There's no smell at all. I really want this soupy because this is a styrofoam plate and so it absorbs. I don't usually like to use styrofoam when I'm painting. Okay, watch this. Can you see? It's reactivating it and I'm able, can you see? Yeah. I'm gonna just hit it on the outside. And once that water sits there, it will even get more, it'll get more. It'll be more. And I really should have watered down my paper to absorb it and get it to blend a little bit. I'm just trying to move this. That styrofoam has it in there. All right, there we go. See that darker color? There we go. Now let's go ahead and I want to utilize some of this color, the Apothecary, because teal and orange are complementary, right? So now we're going to reactivate some of this green. I want that darker green. I'm spreading the Apothecary. Let's add some of the dark teal. That dark teal, do you see how it's actually mixing? Can you see? Okay, maybe I can bring this in. Do you see that? It's lifting up that color. So I'm gonna go ahead, look at that. Look at all that pigment. And this is watered down. I'm just gonna do it on the side here. I'm gonna add some drips and some drops. I probably should have let that dry a little bit. Let me see. I'm gonna use some of this water here just to create a really cool background. So I'm gonna grab just some water and move that around. Have you guys tried watercolor with DIY paint before? I know I'm missing some comments up here. It's hard for me to see. Hubby was the activities director for a high school, and we have lots of leftover supplies that he brought to the prom. Ooh, that's fun. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry. And then here, I'm gonna grab a clean brush. I'm gonna wet it. And I'm gonna take some of my, let's see. It is pretty dry. Let me see, there we go. There we go, see that? Can you see the droplets? I wanna create some interest. It's not a bad idea to add some here. You might be able to see some of it come through. And then I have a stamp here that I want to stamp because I love texture and I love layers and I love text. I usually use the IOD stamp. Let me show this up. I don't know if you can see. All right, let me get my dryer here. So DIY paint, like I said, you can water it down, create beautiful watercolor. I love to use what I call my paint water. So whenever I paint, I usually have a cup and I put my brush in there as I'm, before I clean it, as I'm just doing a few things. I just set my brush in there. And especially if I'm painting furniture, there's a lot of pigment on there, and you can use that water for a wash. You can use it to create a new color, like add some other colors in there. Like there's so much that you can do with that paint water. I've showed how years ago I took some paint water, some custom color that I created, and I was like, oh my gosh, this water is, the water is so beautiful. I had like a red and a yellow in there. It created this beautiful orange color, and I used it to paint a velvet chair. So the actual fabric, I dyed it with my paint water, and I've done that a couple of times, and it's so good because otherwise you'd be throwing it down the drain. Why are all these weird people trying to get on my TikTok? Like, what the crap? What? Okay, so it's still wet. Stop. All right. The lighting is really strange here, but you can see, and even on the back side. So it's still wet. We need this to dry because this one is gonna get this transfer on there. And so I wanna add some more to it. Let me see if I can get some more splatter for this one. I'm not sure what I'm doing on that one, but I want more splatter. So I'm gonna put that here to the side. And let's see what we have going on here. Let me see if I can speed dry this so we can add some transfers to it. But you see how with DIY paint, once you seal it, it becomes a lot darker. You definitely want to make sure that this is really, really dry, that it is not damp at all, so that the transfer will adhere to it and you'll get it to last for a very, very long time. All right, I'm gonna put this one to the side and I'm gonna keep going. So I do have a couple of IOD stamps that I might incorporate into the design. Like I've got the knob topper stamps. They're just make little great circles and just some added elements. And I grabbed this one that also in the antiquities. So we might stamp before we add some transfers onto the watercolor paper. All right, let's see. This is literally how I work. I always have multiple things going on at the same time because while one thing is drying, then I want the other. I absolutely love that dark edge right there. Do you see that? That dark? Like, I wish this wasn't going in a frame. See, I love to make my junk journals that way and then tint it on the edges. Do you guys like to junk journal? I love it. And I love doing this to this paper. But this would be great. At home, I have this little system that I take watercolor and you can hang it on your wall, and it just literally clips it here. And there's one here too. And then you can replace your art. I love to do that. Trolls on your TikTok? Yes, yes, trolls on my TikTok. All right, so we want to get this to dry a little bit more. So, all right, let's see if we can create a really fun, colorful one. So this one, I'm thinking it's really loud today. It's so beautiful. It's strange how beautiful the weather is here in Kentucky right now, because normally it is so cold. So speaking of Kentucky, we are big deer lovers, right? Deer and elk and all of that stuff. So I thought this would be really cute, but I want to create a background. So originally I was just going to take the cardboards, but they're a little bit small, and you could paint the cardboard and use that. But then I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and use my watercolor paper. So let me cut another little piece. Oops. And we're gonna paint this frame, I think, because I don't think that I like it that color. We'll see. Let's look. Let's look. If you have any questions, let me know. And if I'm missing stuff, I know I'm missing stuff because it's hard for me to see at the weird angle that I have. Oh, here's this thing. All right, let's tear it. All right, I'm gonna go a little bit smaller maybe. No, I think it was a little bit bigger. Okay. I don't like to measure. I just usually do it this way and then cut as I need to. And all of these little scraps I can use for junk journals, for my ATC cards, like I said, tonight. Oh, I cut 2 of them, perfect. I can use that tonight. Okay, so I want to make sure that this is gonna fit. Yep, it is. All right, so I'll use that for something tonight. All right, let's create a different background. Maybe I want to use this bohemian blue. This dark, dark teal is so pretty. And whenever I paint stuff, like I have a couple of things in the store right now. There's something that I did a couple of weeks ago that came out super, super cool. This is gonna be like my sky. And I thought, oh, I need more bohemian blue. Gotta have more bohemian blue in this house here to sell, because sometimes people will see something, you know, and they might want to go ahead and match something, you know? So I figured I need to have multiple. So even when I paint furniture, I try very hard to come up with different things that have the same color scheme. So I'm wanting to incorporate more of that boho blue. And look at how pretty, created like a little landscape right there. What I'm gonna do very quickly though is I'm gonna grab some water and create some clouds by removing some of the paint. There we go. All right, let me start to get this to dry. And then we're gonna paint this frame. We can add some leaves and trees in the background. That would be really nice. Or we can leave it just like it is. We'll see what it looks like when it's dry. So if you have a little bit of paint left over, this is a great way to utilize that paint and not let it go to waste. Especially when you're talking about paint in the jar. When it gets to the bottom, it gets super thick. Like this is thick. Like I'm gonna tip this over just because I added water, but there's paint in here. Can you heard those drops? That's the water. I actually need that here in a second because this is the color that I created for that the metal box. So see that? That's just the water that I added. It was chunky. I had to like scrape it so hard with this, and you can see like some of the scrape marks, and then I blended that. So that's what that was. So this is the little, look at that. It looks like landscape, right? So pretty. I think this is gonna be really nice for my deer. So we're gonna put this aside. I'm gonna post pictures of everything too. I'm gonna hit this with some paint. I actually like this color, but we're gonna hit it with some DIY paint and distress it. So we're gonna hit it with, I've got such a mess. I put in my stories, can I make anything pretty out of this mess? Like, yes, absolutely. That's when you know you're having fun. So I cleaned it literally with just baby wipe the other day because I was gonna do this one. I thought I was gonna have this ready for my live sale on Sunday, but there was just too much and I had a lot of stuff. So I don't know if you guys have heard of the Whatnot app, but I'm on there now, and for at least this month, I'm trying it out, doing some sales. So I did a thrifted sale, like just as is. Then I was part of an event that they hosted called Arts and Handmade, and it was, everything had to be upcycled. And I took a whole bunch of stuff that I painted or did something with, oops, and I had it on the sale on Sunday. And I sold a few things. I just shipped everything off today. I actually went to the post office yesterday, not realizing that it was President's Day and they were closed. Because I was like, why are they closed? Like, what? And I called my husband. I'm like, is today like some kind of a holiday? Because I just went to the post office and they were closed. I was like flabbergasted. I'm like, what in the world? Like, people really still celebrate that? Like, they just want a day off, right? That's all they care about. All right, I'm gonna hit this with the dryer. Hold on, I've got some. It's not perfect. It's not going to be perfect. I'm not trying to paint this perfectly because I'm going to distress this. But you can hit this with a heat gun or a blow dryer. And it dries. And see how it's drying so much lighter. And then once you seal it, it comes back to life. Now, if you like this matte color and you don't want to seal it, and it's something that's going to hang on your wall, and you're not going to clean it with a wet rag, you're just going to wipe it down. Eventually, over time, DIY paint hardens. You don't have to seal it. Now, Debbie Beard, the owner of DIY Paint, she has been known to paint things even that go outside and not seal it. And her furniture, sometimes she doesn't seal it because it hardly rains out there, and the sun helps to dry everything. And clay is like an adobe finish, right? That's how they make adobe finishes. It's with clay. And so it hardens over time, and that's how DIY paint will be. So it's a very durable finish. It'll go on anything and everything. Plastic, wood, glass, all the things, metal. Obviously, I just painted that metal thing. So I'm going to, let me see, where's my time? 11:38. Let's see if I can at least make this look decent. All right, let me hold it here. Usually, I can get something painted, something small like this. Obviously, if I'm painting furniture, I'm doing 2 coats. But usually I only do 1 coat unless it's really, really dark. I really do want to distress this, but I don't want it to look like it wasn't painted and I didn't do that great of a job. So I'm gonna just go ahead and hit this. But do you see the coverage? And this was really, really dark. So all of the paint, the transfers, decoupage papers, everything that I use to upcycle is available on my website, which is leesaboondesigns.com. I'm going to maybe hold this. No. All right, I'm gonna just hit this. I love the look of distressing to the dark color, but I'm not sure exactly how I'm gonna, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cover this. Sometimes I don't waste the paint. It just depends what I'm feeling. So I'm gonna put this to the side. I'm gonna hit this, and we will distress this with a baby wipe. That's how easy it is to distress it. Before you seal it, you want to distress it. Now you could seal it. Oh, I want to move my brushes from the heat. You could seal it and get a fine mist, like a sanding sponge, and you could sand it. You won't have the dust. I've done that before. But if you have waxed it, you're gonna get some dust on your wax. So you just keep that in mind. But of course you can use it with, you can seal it with DIY Paint's Big Top. It's our poly type top coat, non-toxic, works great, very durable. Now look at how pretty this looks, nice and white. I got my fingerprint on there. I knew I would. I'm gonna try to, you don't want to overbrush DIY paint because if you do, it pulls up the paint. So I'm gonna see if I not burn my hands. But let's see how fast, if you're trying to make a gift for someone, if you're trying to sell a few items like I do and bring it to a vintage mall or your online store or an event, like if you're doing a market or something like that, you could literally paint things, batch paint it. Batch painting means like what I'm doing, like I'm using the same color, painting a whole bunch of stuff all at one time. You can sit there and dry it and then seal it, you know, and put it to the side and keep moving. And you can actually get a lot done. So here is the frame. I'm gonna paint the back side as well, but do you see how pretty that came out? We're gonna distress that here in a minute. I'm gonna move this, put this over there. Some parts are still wet. So let me see. I'm gonna move this here. We're going to wipes. I'm trying to get some baby wipes just because I don't want to dirty up anything else that I'm painting. All right. And just like that, easily comes up. My cousin is a hoarder of sorts. Ooh, I like your cousin. Lives in the country, and I need to go see her house for some goodies. She appreciates my thinning her stuff out. That's awesome. That is a great cousin to have. I love friends and family that will give me free stuff. I couldn't see the wonderful shape of that frame until you painted it white. Thank you. Because also, it is a little bit slightly distressed. So when you have something that's all one color, it is really, really difficult to see. Guys, this is still really damp. I'm gonna have to wait a second. I'm gonna have to wait a second because I can't add a transfer. But this is what I'm gonna do. I'm actually going to take this and I'm gonna show you. So stay tuned because I will show, see these grid lines, use the grid lines and you can just cut things out. You can use the grid lines to help straighten something up. I'm gonna cut this branch out of the design. I don't know if I'm gonna use it. You could leave it if you wanted. But this is a great way to take one transfer and utilize it for different projects. Okay, I love the text. I could use that for something else. There's another piece that has the rest of that text because when you put them all together, it creates one big design. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to cut this somewhere along here maybe and have utilize this on 2 plates. And then I have this transfer that I will cut and utilize on 2 plates as well. So that's my game plan. So just to show you, but see how these tones work really, really well with this plate? And it's soft and muted, so it's not that much color. I try to show how you can incorporate color into your house in so many different ways. So you can, you know, do pops of color. You can do, you know, an everything neutral, or do something like this. Adding those pinks and the little blues and purples is a great way to just jazz up something ordinary. You can put it on your table and let that be the color, or add to it on your tablescape. Or this would make a great gift for somebody, right? Like this would make an absolutely wonderful gift for someone who just got married or is, you know, moving to a new house. All right, let's see what this is like. All right, so trying to figure out if this is enough. Does that not look cool? And this was just a little bit of watered down paint, right? I'm thinking, honestly, let me see. So when it's behind there, another thing that you could really do that is really, really, really cool, those people are getting on my nerves now, is you could actually clean this glass really well. And I would use vinegar and hydrogen peroxide to make sure that it's streak-free and very, very clean. I use vinegar for cleaning in my house all the time. I have like my own shower gel I make. It's super cool. So you could actually, have something on the back side. It might be decoupage paper, something really pretty. And then you could actually add a transfer on the front of the glass. Oh my God. And so it could be a flower, it could be something else. So that's something that, and you can layer it and it looks so good. It looks so good when you do that. I have a couple of frames that I've done that way. You could decoupage on the back of the glass and then have something here. So pretty. So what do you guys think? Do you think this would look yes. Heat gun is a huge time saver. Oh my gosh, yeah. What do you guys think? Should I create a little bit more? Like, here's my guy here. Or should I add anything else, you think? I'm torn. Wait, how did I have this? There we go. Wait, no. Oh my word, this way. You don't, if you don't want this to get onto anything else, because then you'll mess up your transfer. That's why I was trying to make sure I got it right. Okay, so let's look at this. This one is for this floral. So the mailman's about to walk in, y'all. Hello, good morning. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.
You too.
All right, so I'm gonna apply this. This one I'm gonna apply right on here. It is dry, and it is really, really easy. Do I have a mat? Do I have something? Here, I have this. I don't want it to get on anything else, because I do really, really have a big mess here. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply this on here. Now see, a lot of it, like I said, you can't see, but you can see it somewhat. And that blue works really, really great with Dominican. Wait, what? I don't know what that said, but it says I'm Dominican. I'm Dominican. I'm Dominican Cuban. All right, let's see. Where's my, so all of the transfers come with this stick, right? And so it is super, super easy to add transfers to paper. I love to do that. And it, I used to think, oh no, I don't want to waste it, because I always used them for furniture. But I'm gonna try to salvage a little piece of that, maybe, yeah. But when you're doing crafts and home decor, it's so pretty to add these transfers. And so you just, if this is the same exact technique that I'm gonna be doing with the charger plates. You don't need to hit it really hard. Look at that. Can you see? So pretty. So if you have a little bit of an air bubble, you really want this to be firmly secure, first of all. Then you can go like this, and it just transfers like a whole section. But if you don't have it firmly put on here, see that? If you don't have it firmly put on, it will skip on you. And you don't want that, because what will happen is you end up ruining your design. Now, if that happens, you could always get paint and match the paint and like create something on there or fill it in. Or if you have like some little bugs or flowers, like in the same color scheme, you can add, like I always, you know, say you could add a butterfly. Okay, so this is what was left on there. If you see that and you missed a spot, you can always put it back down. Now let me show you. This is a little piece, I'm gonna show you on here. This is a little piece, right, that I left, that I didn't put on, because it was above the paper. So if I wanted to add another flower, like I could come right here, I can line it up. If I didn't want to miss out, and I can line it up right there. I just lined it up. Let me put this upside down, and I applied it right there. So it looks like there's like a little flower behind it, and you could do that all around if you wanted. Like I could add it, but see, like now this is sticking up, so I can just fold it back, because this is paper. I'm going to be putting this in a frame. Now, you don't have to seal your paper, but you do want to make sure that it's nice and firmly planted, that it's on there. I don't want to use that one. Usually I just cut this up and I use the grid that it comes off of. But you could wax this, and waxing paper is really, really cool if you were going to be touching it, but it's going in a frame. So let's look at, which frame was it? Oh, it's the white one, right? Is it the white one that we're doing? Is this the one? No. Is it? No, it's not that one. Oh, wait. Is it this one? I can't remember which frame I had for what. Let's see. Maybe it's this one. I can't remember. All right. Do you see how pretty that is now? And it looks like a really pretty piece of art. There we go. Without the glare. Trying to get it without the glare. What do you guys think? Give me some hearts. Give me some hearts. You like that. So you could paint this frame and you can do something completely different, but now you have an actual piece of art that you could gift to somebody, or you could decorate your house. So if this is actually a thrifted frame, if you have a thrifted frame, you can do the same thing. So now it is 11:53. So I just have a few minutes. So just to show you again, how pretty is that? Guys, what do you think? Let me know. Can you give me some hearts? Some likes, some thumbs up. All right, so I wanted to show you. Okay, so let's go back to this. So this is my wet baby wipe. I like to wet distress the edges, and this is still wet enough. And it's a lot easier to do when it's newly painted, but I can actually wet distress weeks later if I haven't sealed it. DIY paint is just so incredible. So when I distress it, now I can see the curves and I can see the edges, and it just makes it look so much prettier. So the one thing that I always do whenever I distress is I go back and I get a clean section and I make sure I clean it up so that it's not fuzzy. You don't want it fuzzy. You want it to be like it really is worn. And honestly, I'd probably do another coat on that, and I'll fix that up and I'll paint this back side. And so see, now it just looks so pretty, so pretty. So let's see what, where's my, oh, here. So if I was gonna do this one, let me see, you know, it would be so pretty. But we're gonna do something dark on that one. So I also have, like, this is a scrap of, I did a piece of furniture. This was a scrap. I think this was an armoire that I did with this transfer, and I cut it up and I just put it all over. So I thought that this was a really pretty frame, and I'm leaving it as it is. I love that burlap. I love that taupe and black look. I love that in fashion as well. Like super, super cool. And I just thought I'm gonna put this in the frame, and I'm gonna put it in, let's see, does this one fit? Let's see. I think that one was for another one, but I think that would look really good. Yeah, I think that would look good here. And I can apply this on here and have just that little speckles of background. Let me show you a couple others that I was thinking about. So let me see. this one, I think for sure, I'm gonna put that one here. Let's see. Let me know what you think. Okay, should I leave? I think that looks really good. Should I leave the frame this color? Should I leave the frame this color, or should I paint the frame a different color? Let me know what you think. It's fun to use transfers on drop cloth. Oh my gosh, yes it is. Yes it is. So let me know what you think about the, this is Steckler Seed Company. Should I keep the frame the same or should I paint it? I'm gonna put this one here and wait to hear from you before. So all of these, I will, when I'm done, I will take a picture, and I can't get this back in. Sometimes it's like Tetris. This is the back. I think this is the back. I just took it off, right? So it has to be. Oh, that was in the way. Okay. Okay. So that's what that would look like. Let me know what you think. I got heart sleeve. Joyce. Is that Joyce? Hey, girl. Okay. All right. So I will put that on. I also have some white cardstock, but I think this cardstock would look better. All right. So we will do that. And this one. Okay. This one. Is that for that one? I think so. Yeah, because see, look, the color goes with it. I'm gonna probably black wax this frame, to be honest. That's what I'm thinking. I've already sealed it. What did I decide to put on that one? I thought I had them all. All right, so this is nice and dry. Okay, so the other one that you guys have to weigh in on is, should I do something else, add some more, and then apply my little guy on this one? I love the way the boho blue, it really does look like a sky. I could always add some other little transfers over him so it looks like, or do a tree. That would be pretty. Maybe paint some watercolor flowers or something. What do you guys think? Let me see. Should I leave as is and put him on there, or should I add a little bit more? All right, so I'm gonna put that there, waiting on my friends there to fill me in. So for this one, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this and create some text. I just love doing that because it adds some really, really cool texture. I'm using IOD's ink pad in stone gray. It's what I prefer for backdrops. So you can kind of see that it's right there a little bit. It needs a little something. Yeah, I think so too. It needs a little something. So I have some little pieces I could do, or I can add some watercolor. We'll see. I'm gonna see. But it's 12 o'clock. It goes so fast. It's like the fastest hour, isn't it? Oh, you can see the top of my phone. I apologize. So anyway, thank you guys for joining me. I'm gonna post a picture of the finished pieces. So just to show you, okay, we created watercolor backgrounds, which, oh my gosh, that really does look like the sky. It looks so pretty. And I could go back and add some more depth if I want to, or just leave it like that. And then here is a transfer on paper, so pretty. So anyway, I will take everything and take a picture and post it So stay tuned for that. If you're not following me on all of the things, please follow me on all of the things. I'd greatly appreciate it. Join my mail list and make sure that you check out this week's podcast. This week's podcast, I interviewed one of my friends. She has a retail store like right there, not that far from me, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And she talks about the atmosphere and the environment that she's creating. Like, it's really encouraging, and how she uses her faith to really instill her values into her I was gonna say students because she was a teacher, into her employees. It's such a good podcast. So anyway, it's every Monday. So I hope you have an incredibly blessed day. Ciao.